Hello, Bill Molyneux here for Bill's History and Wargaming World, and I have the great honor of being able to get an interview with Robert Nipar, Captain and Commander of many of our forces here at Fort Frederick. He's here to give us a little talk about the French-Indian War from the British perspective. Take it away, Robert.
Well, the French and Indian War, although they blame Washington a lot, actually there was rumblings and startings prior to that, in that the French were capturing the British traders, putting them in jail, taking their products, actually sending some to France. There were verbal threats, if you will, but no actions at that time. Yes, Washington was sent by Dinwiddie, one, to ask him their intent. The other purpose, of course, was land for expansion, find out what the French was planning to do, because they were both claiming the Ohio country, if you will. The French told them that they were there to stay, that it was theirs. Washington went back to Virginia, got new orders from Governor Dinwiddie to go to the fork of the Ohio and build a fort. In his way there, if you will, he had to stop because he had run into a French unit at Jumonville Glen. He went back and built Fort Necessity, 4 or 5 miles away from it. He returned, but attacked the French at Jumonville Glen. The commander of the French unit was Jumonville. He had come out of Fort Duquesne, which was at the fork of the Ohio, and that is what was the major issue, because it was a military action. People died in it, French and Virginians, and that began the war. That was the initial beginning of it, because blood was shed. So the follow-up, Washington went back to Virginia, the French went back to Fort Duquesne, but then the British decided that a larger action was required, and they sent over General Braddock. Of course, he got to within 7 miles of Fort Duquesne, but was defeated at the Battle of the Monongahela on July 9th. It took 3 more years for the British to put together an army, change their tactics, and name General Forbes, who came across Pennsylvania, didn't come up from Maryland as General Braddock did, but was able to defeat the British and push them away from the fork of the Ohio, which then the British had decided that they would build Fort Pitt, which would be their major fort facility within the colonies.
Very good. Well, I want to ask one quick question. What happens in November at Jumonville Glen?
In Jumonville Glen, they have a ceremony that honors that activity from both the French and the British. Also at Jumonville Glen, the Braddock Battlefield Association holds a seminar at Jumonville Christian Camp, which is right adjacent to Jumonville Glen, as well as it had been a trade school for Civil War veteran children whose fathers had been killed in the Civil War. And it's a 2-day seminar, with Friday being a bus tour, and then on Saturday speakers are there all day. And we cover many sections of the French and Indian War with the various speakers. One of the good things about that area. A lot happened there, again talking about the Fork of the Ohio, Jumonville, Fort Ligonier, but all these men whose names we know as Washington, Franklin, Jefferson, Madison, were all young men. They were in their early 20s, and you get to study them and see how their thoughts and thinking changed by the 20 years later when the revolution began.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I know you're real busy here at Fort Frederick commanding your forces. And thank you, and stay safe, be healthy, and be kind, everyone in YouTube world. And look for more videos on my channel.
Thank you.